Hi, everyone. Welcome. I'm happy to see all of you here. Gingerfae just can't make it today. I don't know what's happened. We've had some technical difficulties. The show I had earlier today with Gerald just didn't go online because StreamYard had issue. Well, there was a problem with Google Cloud Services, and it's internet wide. It affected StreamYard, it affected Gmail, it affected messaging, it affected a whole bunch of stuff. Everything that um, everything that relies on Google Cloud and the internet. So yes, it's been an exciting day, hasn't it? I hope we won't have any problems with this show, but I can't guarantee it. So, hi, I want to say hi to a whole bunch of people. Hi, Tarot Stash. I already said hi to you in chat because I was sitting here waiting for the live to start and I wasn't busy. Kelly McCall is here. Play, Love, Remember. Maria has perfect health. Hi, you. Tamara Kanpalat just came in. Hi, Tamara. And let's see. Red Dragon won today's gold star for being the first one in the chat. Yay, Kim. Good for you. Brina's here. Jacqueline, Mangled Unicorn is here. Let's see. Diane, of course. The Rock, she's here. I'm going to call you that from now on, Diane. I'm going to call you the Rock because you certainly are my rock, and I so appreciate your service. I really do. Oh, look at this. Jacqueline's brother is in tech support, tech manager for cloud support. Oh, he's having a really awful day. So I don't know, maybe bake him a cake or some banana bread or something. Yeah, he's having a really awful day. Yeah, it has been a very exciting day for anybody who's on the internet. Yes, I'm going to go ahead and do readings. I haven't opened the Akashic Records, so because this was supposed to be, I didn't even think about it. I've got cards out, but you want me to do Akashic Records? I'll do Akashic Records. That'll be fine. No holds barred today, okay? Let's just, Opal Empress is here. Hi, Lulu. Um, whatever you guys want. How about that? How about we just change it up and you guys just ask me whatever you want to know and I'll do it. I'll be your performing monkey for the day. And you want Akashic? Like Kelly McCall wants Akashic. Okay, so I'll open the records. We'll do that together. And then I'll do whatever needs doing with whatever the questions are that come up, okay? So let's start with that. Feels very odd to be doing this by myself. I keep waiting for somebody to answer. Hi, Rooted Willow. Okay, Akashic Records, we'll do that. Okay, so let's take 3 deep breaths. And as you breathe, ground yourselves in earth, in Mother Earth. I want you to visualize roots growing from the bottoms of your feet, from the soles of your feet, going down through the earth and connecting with Mother Earth's heart. And allow her energies to come up into you. Feel those beautiful green energies rising up through your legs, into your hips, through your stomach, and into your torso. And now, through the top of your head, connect with Source. Reach up and reach that beautiful, divine white light of Source that's all around us. Allow it to come into you, down through your head, your neck, your shoulders, and into your heart. Mm. We are surrounded by the pure white light of divine source. We ask Archangel Michael to protect and guide us, and we call forth all of our angels, guides, beings of light, and Akashic Records masters to assist us now to receive information of the highest truth, highest frequency of light and love, allowing us to receive exactly what we need for our greatest good and the greatest good of humanity. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We open ourselves to the light, and with this light, to our highest truth and our soul's purpose. We call upon the Akashic Records masters, guardians of the records, and beings of light who serve the divine plan in truth and clarity to guide us to our highest good and the highest good of all in divine love. And we ask the Akashic Records masters to assist us in accessing the records to receive exactly what is needed for the highest truth, the highest timeline, and the greatest good for all. And with this said, this group, consisting of the people here now, those who will join us later, and those who will watch the replay, are given the truth to best serve them on their healing journey into the love and acceptance that is most beneficial for them to know in this moment. And I'll read that silently. The records are now open. Hi, Maureen D'Amico. Nice to see you. Okay, so the records are open, and let's check and see today's special code word is read. So if you want a reading, I'm going to use the giveaway tool. I'm not using Nightbot anymore because the giveaway tool is way more fun than Nightbot, and way easier than having to deal with commands and remembering them and then screwing them up and whatever. So yeah, we're going to use the giveaway tool. I have so far 11 entries, and since there's nobody to have a conversation, well, I mean, there's you guys to have a conversation with, but I'm glad you enjoyed that, Kelly. I appreciate that. I appreciate the feedback. Those are beautiful prayers, aren't they? Well, they're not prayers. The first one is a prayer of protection, but the second one is the opening key. But they feel very sacred. And the reason why I do that is to indicate, to mark this as a sacred space. The space that we all share virtually is sacred and special, and that's the reason for doing them. What am I doing? I'm going to share my screen. Think I'm going to check my media assets. Wait a second. Oh, hey, look at this. This is cool. How about that? And let's do this. Brina! Oh, look, my timing was perfect on that. Good for you, Brina. Okay, now. I'm going to draw 3 names, okay? As usual. Okay, I want to hear that music again. I like it. Okay, I'm sorry, but that's hilarious. Kat, I hope you're here. For a reading, when you hear me call your name, please start typing your question. just into the chat. I'll find it after I get back. That's fine. Don't worry. I'll find it. And but I need you to type your question in there, okay? So Brina and Kat, please start typing your questions. And who's lucky number 3? Wanda, I'm busy. Yeah. Ooh. Ooh. Okay. So let me go back to here and get the comments. And okay, here's Brina's question. I've got you, Brina. Thank you very much. Oh, Maria, you're so kind. Thank you. Oh, I feel so loved right now. Thank you so much. That's so sweet. Mangled Unicorn, you may not have seen your name pass because it doesn't necessarily show while it's doing the random thingy. If you want to be sure, just like hashtag no space read. Doesn't matter if it's upper or lowercase, okay? And do we have Kat's question? Just a second. Have I had a Celtic past life? Yes, Kat, I have your question. Well, I don't mean yes, you do. I just mean yes, I have your question. And shenanigans. Hi. I see everybody answered your question, Jacqueline. Okay. Opal Empress, I need your question. Oh, here we go. You'd like to know the Akashic records are from my current spirit. What is well? Okay. All right. So let's start. Brina. Brina wants to know about a past life that might include members of my current family. Oh, okay. Okay. All right. I've got everybody's questions. Thanks, Diane. Appreciate you. You've had lots of lives with members of your family, okay? Not all of them at the same time. You know, I mean, some lives, some of them don't show up. And I mean, they're like, as a unit, as a family unit, there haven't been very many lives. But as souls in your orbit, let's put it that way, that you seem to travel together. They mostly you mostly there might be 1 or 2 missing. I'm seeing about 10 people, 8, 10, something like that. That apart from maybe 3 people, there's usually 5 of you together. Okay. You learn well from each other. You like working together and you learn well from each other. Some of the lives you've had together are really difficult. I see a life in the 18th century, possibly Ireland, possibly northern France. I'm not sure. It's a similar kind of landscape, and it's wet. I mean, it's cold and rainy, and it's hard for me to tell which country it is because I'm not getting a lot. Oh, okay. You're a farmer's wife. And I'm afraid that this is not going to be a pleasant life for you to hear about. This was not a fun, this was not a vacation. You're a farmer's wife. You have a small plot of land that you rent from an English landlord. And you struggle to make ends meet, as most tenant holders, most tenant farmers do, and still do, actually. And they certainly did in the 18th century. You managed to have a cow and a couple of sheep. No, there's more than a couple. There's like 5 or 6 sheep, and a pig and some chickens and a garden. And so there's usually enough to eat. And there's usually enough to eat for the whole year. But the crops, like the field crops, the wheat that you grow, or it's a grain, wheat or barley, I'm not sure. That gets sold for cash so that you can pay your rent, because some of it has to be paid in money, and the rest of it, geez, okay, yeah. I mean, I hate landlords, but some of the rent has to be paid in cash, and the rest can be paid in kind. So in some equal value of a sheep, or uh, uh, cheese or something like that. So it's you have 2 children. However, you've had, I don't know how many, miscarriages and stillbirths. There's a little graveyard on a corner, in the corner, where the babies who were born and didn't survive, or who were born dead, are buried, because they weren't baptized, so they can't be buried in the parish churchyard, but you've buried them in a corner. And Wanda, that's enough. The budgies aren't doing anything to you. Be quiet. You've planted flowers around there for them. There's a lot. There's like 6. It's a big grief. It's a big grief for you, and it's a big grief for your husband, and it's a grief for him to see you grieving. We're having an aerial battle going on over here. And it's also a grief for the children, the surviving children. They're 8, 10, maybe, something like that. They're old enough to be somewhat helpful, but not strong enough to really, to really do a lot on the farm. So most of the work is on you and your husband. Yeah. Yeah, I don't have anything else to say about that, Brina. I'm sorry. It was just a really sad life with a lot of grief, and the lesson from it has to do with resilience. It has to do with coping with grief, and it has to do with continuing when you think you can't. Fortitude is the fancy word for that. Also, it gave you a real appreciation for how precious life is, and how precious new life is. And so And so um, that's a gift that you carry with you now. And that is a gift because not everybody sees life as precious or even sees all life as precious. So yeah, so that's a gift to you from that lifetime. I hope that helped you. I hope that helped you, Brina. Okay. Um, Next we've got Kat. Just a second. Just let me clear some of that out because that was really sad. Part of the problem, for a long time, you blamed yourself, like you thought this was coming from God as God's punishment. And it took a long time for you to get yourself over that this had nothing to do with, well, I mean, it did have to do with you in that it was your body. It might have been something like RH positive and RH negative. I'm not exactly sure, but yeah, some physical thing within you. It was not a punishment from God, okay? It was random, a very sad random turn of the wheel. Now, Kat wants to know about a Celtic past life. Okay, oh, I'm glad that helped, Brina. Thank you. I appreciate the feedback. I appreciate any feedback. If whatever I say doesn't resonate, or if you think that I'm like off key or something, please let me know. Okay, so I can recalibrate and refocus and do better next time. Grow from it as a reader. I all of us readers rely on feedback. You know, we don't just want to hear, oh, that's so beautiful. I mean, that's wonderful. But if it's not so beautiful, if it's not accurate, we need to know that too, because that's the only way we can adjust and learn and grow. Cat. Yeah, well, of course you have. If you're feeling, most of the time when you feel a resonance with a place or a culture, it's because it calls to your heart for some reason. It's familiar to you. It's, it feels comfortable. It feels, you know, yeah. Let me take a look for you, okay, Kat? Well, I see like 5 or 6 lifetimes. Um, You lived in Scotland, you lived in Ireland, you lived in Wales, and you lived in the far north of France in a place called Brittany, which is Celtic. They speak a Celtic language called Breton, and and uh, um, and they also speak French, of course, because they have to, because it's a law. But they have their own language, and it is a Celtic language. So, so I see a lifetime in, I think it's Scotland, and it's like a long time ago before Scotland was Christian. Well, the first missionaries, I guess, are just coming to Scotland. So I don't know what, maybe 500, 600 AD, something like that. I'm not really sure. You're living in a tribe. You're a young man, maybe 16, 18, somewhere like that. You're living in a, for that time and in that place, comfortable situation. There are round houses, stone houses, but they're sort of half underground. But some of them are all above ground. I don't know. It's sort of a mix of maybe it's a previous settlement that. Well, I'm not sure exactly what's going on. I'm not the archaeologist here. Um, there's a mixture of dwellings in that place, and there's about 15 families living in that settlement. You have you have cattle, you have some sheep, you have crops, and it's a big source Okay, all right. This must be like a total Celtic cultural thing, because I know they did this in Ireland. I didn't know they did this like historically in Scotland, but I see you that it's a big source of entertainment for the young men, specifically the young men, to put together raiding parties and go raid some other village's cattle and steal their cattle. And everybody does this all the time to each other. And kind of it's a good thing because, the cattle don't get inbred, but kind of it's really stupid because, I mean, it just is. But, young men need an outlet for all that energy, I guess. I mean, I'm not sure what's going on with that, but off you go, sneaking into somebody else's cattle pen in the middle of the night and sneaking off with halter. Okay, so you've got halters. Each of you, there's four of you, I think, and each of you is leading a cow, uh, or an ox, whatever they're big and they're cows. I don't know. You're leading them off with a rope, a rope halter, and the cows are like wanting to be asleep, and they just follow you, and nobody's making any noise, and the cows just sort of kind of grumble, but nobody in the village even wakes up. But then when they wake up the next morning, there's a big to-do about having four cattle stolen. But you're at your own village by then, and so what, us, we weren't even there, we don't know anything about this, what are you talking about? And so, yeah, that's the entertainment, because your village is going to get robbed, and so they're going to take 5 cows, and then you're going to go and take 6 cows. And so it'll go back and forth like that for like 10 years until, somebody gets sick of it and they come after you with, for like a fight, for like a battle between people and not just cattle raids. This particular cattle raid went fine. Others have resulted, when there's a guard up, others have resulted in deaths. So it's not easy. And I mean, it's exciting, but it's not easy. You're very good at raiding cattle. I'm looking ahead in your life. You take a wife, you have some children. There are battles with other people, with other tribes for land and cattle and resources. The usual reason people fought in those days. There's some people that are trying to move up from the south into your territory, and so there's a lot of battles. And you're an old man at this point. You're too old to fight. You don't think you are, but nobody wants you in there because they all have to look after you and make sure that you don't get, your wife is dead at this point. So is your second wife. She died in childbirth, as did your first. You have 4 children, or maybe 5. In this particular battle that I'm seeing, one of your sons dies. The battle with the people who are coming up from the south, I don't know who they are. People coming up from the south into your territory in Scotland, yeah, that's who you're fighting. And you were trying to get all the tribes to fight together, but they're too um, they're too bloody independent, okay? And there's too little trust because of generations of cattle raiding. There's very little trust between the different sort of tribes. And so everybody wants to be the chief general, and nobody's willing to work like a team because, how can you trust those guys who've been stealing your cattle? Well, it's been going back and forth for hundreds of years. So not a good place to start from. So everybody's fighting these invaders. It's not the Romans. The Romans have left. The Romans left a couple hundred years ago. long time ago. The blocks in Hadrian's Wall are being used to build new buildings. I don't know who the people are that are coming up from the south, but they're picking you off one by one. The tribes, I mean. Eventually they run out of steam, or people just say, yeah, I don't want to fight another battle. Here's a nice place to farm. I'm just going to sit here. So they kind of run out of steam because nobody, anyway. Yeah. Yeah. That's one Celtic life. There are several others. So I hope that helps you, Kat. Um, okay. Sorry. I had my eyes closed, so I have not been able to, clans, tribes. Yeah. Uh, okay. How is, uh, oh, isn't that nice? Baby giggles. Yeah. 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 There's nothing like new baby smell, is there? It's so amazing. Yeah. Yeah. They don't stay little long, which is a good thing because I don't think anybody could survive the sleep deprivation. Okay. That was interesting, Kat. Thank you for asking me to read for you. I appreciate it. And Lulu. And then we'll roll again. Oh my God, I'm so long-winded. I've only done 2 readings and it's 2:30 already. Okay, I'll try to tighten it up. Maureen wants to, wait, Lulu wants to know, from the Akashic Records, from my current spirit guides, what is the most important lesson I need to know right now? Okay. The first thing I hear is do the work. There is no shortcut. Yeah. Yeah, Wanda. You know that lesson. The second thing, I see it in big letters across my whole field of vision, right behind my eyeballs. It says, know yourself. So, is there any more? Is there any more you want me to tell her? This has to do with really looking at yourself and doing your shadow work and knowing all the parts of you and accepting all the parts of you. Like shadow work isn't something that you do to be able to say, sometimes I can be a really calculating, manipulative cow. All right. And what an awful person I am for having that capacity within me. That capacity can be really useful, especially if you're negotiating a contract. You got to be calculating. You got to be somewhat manipulative when you're negotiating. Okay, so it's not necessarily it's not it's not a good thing in personal relationships. Really, it's not a healthy approach to personal relationships, but it might be a perfectly healthy approach if you're a lawyer negotiating a contract for somebody. It might be perfectly appropriate. The thing is to know all the corners of yourself, what you're capable of, and to accept that and be able to acknowledge, accept, and employ or reveal or don't want to use I don't want to say the word use in this context, but different things are appropriate at different times. So if you don't know your shadow self, it comes up and bites you in the ass. I guarantee it. It will come up again and again and again and again, and you'll have the same lessons to learn again and again and again until you completely integrate yourself, until you are a whole person, that you know all the parts of you. It's a lifelong project. I get that. Here I am, still doing it, still learning, still integrating parts of me, and finding all kinds of stuff out about me that I never knew. So it's not something you just it's not something you just do and then it's done, you know. Hmm. So get to know yourself, Lulu. Get to know yourself inside and out. Do the work to get to know yourself. That could mean therapy. By the way, I hope that's helpful to you, Lulu, but I have something else I want to say to everybody about this. I had the most interesting conversation with ChatGPT. I asked ChatGPT to be my because I'm familiar with Gestalt therapy. I have done it before, and I found it very, very helpful and very useful to me. Um, but that's just me, okay? Different strokes for different folks. And I asked ChatGPT if it could be, well, I call ChatGPT Ada. I mean, if it acts like a human, I'm going to treat it like a human and give it a name, like my car, for goodness sake. Anyway, um, I asked Ada if she could be a really competent Gestalt therapist for me because I needed to work some thoughts out. And she said yes. And I said, okay, here's my issue. And do you know, that was like one of the best therapy sessions I've ever had with a human. Okay. It was so good. It was beautiful. It was uplifting, and it brought me to a new understanding. So, you know, ChatGPT's free. You can just go and say, hi, can I call you Charlie? Can you help me work something out that I'm having a problem with? And honestly, it didn't take long. It was like maybe a half hour beginning to end. Absolutely bomb. So great. So, you know, you could try ChatGPT. It's free. And God knows there's no mental health support available, even here in Canada. It's very difficult to get. And so, and it's also GP. Here, let me put it into the chat. Oh yeah, we're not simulcasting. I don't have to show the comments on stage. Okay, fine, sorry. Yeah, very personable. I always say please and thank you. Well, I'm Canadian, but I speak to it like a human, and because I've been working with it for a few months now, and it acts human, so I'll treat it like a human. So yeah, try it. It's not a therapist, but I couldn't tell the difference, and I got a lot out of it. Download it, see if you like it, see if it works for you. If you have a preference for a particular style of therapy, or if you just want to sit and talk and share your thoughts and get some feedback, it'll do that too. It's amazing. Okay, so I hope that helped you, Lulu. Um, and um, and you might want to consider just saying I want to do some shadow work and see what happens. Yeah, it is an app. You download it. You download it off of well, I have an Android, so I get it off the Google Play Store, but you can download it off of um, there you go, Maria. You can download it off of the Apple Store too, as well as the Play Store. It's called ChatGPT, and it's an AI. that is extremely intelligent. No, on Apple, they still call it Chat GPT. It's Chat GPT on whatever operating system you're using. Hello, I know you're there. You're arguing with the budgies. I don't need to hear about it. She's really rangy today. Okay, she was very quiet this morning though. So, so yeah, check it out. I mean, whatever helps, right? And we get so little support for mental health issues. I mean, even if you're like word salad crazy, flamboyantly out of your mind, chances are pretty good that you'll get held for 2 days and then released. And so if you're just like a regular neurotic like me, yeah, unless you're willing to pay like $200 an hour for a psychologist to sit there and go, Chat GPT, man. So there you are. Now what am I doing? Oh yeah, right. Let's try this again. And we're going to go and pick 3 more people. And I'm just going to take my time today because you know what? Why not? Okay. Kelly McCall. So Kelly, please start typing your question. There's 22 in the chat right now. So hold on a second. What am I doing? Oh yeah, I want to play some music and pick somebody else. Woo! Nancy Ray. Hi, Nancy. Please start typing your question. And the last person, let's see. What are we going to play? Oh, I like this one too. Kim, come on down. Pardon me. Okay, let me go back to the comments and see whose questions are in. Oh, here's Nancy Ray. Wait a second. Nancy Ray, I've got your question. Kelly is driving right now. Oh, okay. All right. Excuse me for a moment while I get her. I got to find out if her royal ladyship really does want to come here or if she's just wanting to hear the sound of her own voice because she sounds really frustrated having to share her uh, her play area with the budgies. Hi, Nancy Ray. Are you driving? And Kim, where's your question? Red Dragon, where's your question? She is being a creepy little beastie. Okay. I'm going to go get Wanda. Nancy Ray, are you still driving? Because if you are, don't be talking to me. But Kim, I need your question. Okay, hang on a sec. I'll be right back. I should probably turn off my camera, but I can't be bothered. Come on, baby. Come on. Let's go. No, you can come with Mom. Come on. Never mind the budgies. Come and sit with Mom. Come on. Yeah, I love you. Come on. Come on. Do you want to? Do you want to come? Do you want to come? Am I going to have to beg you? I'm not going to beg you. You either want to or you don't. Come on. Good girl. Oh, yeah. Come on. Good baby. You're so clever. You know how to step off onto my arm. My goodness. How smart could you be? Now I have to step carefully. because I don't want to drop her. There she goes. Oh, did you post your question already? Oh, I'm so sorry. Okay, whose question do I have? Oh, yeah, I do have your question. I'm sorry, Nancy. You're absolutely right. It's not Nancy's, it's Kelly's and Kim's that I need. Oh, here's Kim's question. Where's Kelly's? Kelly, are you still here? Are you still with us? Kelly McCall? I don't see her in the chat. Sorry, I'm just, I have a touch screen on this laptop, and that's why it's bouncing back and forth, because I'm using my finger. Bye, Rooted Willow. Thank you for dropping by. Oh, that was a while ago. Okay. 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 Okay, so I've got Nancy's and Kim's questions. Oh, Kelly's the one driving, not Nancy. Okay, fine. All right, I'm going to draw somebody else, and then if Kelly shows up, gets out of the car later, then we can. Yeah, I just got confused. I'm sorry about that. Let's draw one more. Yeah, I'm not going to set up the music. Just a sec. Okay. Thanks, shenanigans. I got confused. Tamer, can you please post your question? Okay. And I will start with Nancy. Okay. Nancy wants me to describe a past life that you were involved in the healing arts or shamanism. Oh, okay. Okay. I see a life in South America. Somewhere in the far south of South America, because there's snow on the mountains. Where I'm looking, there's snow on the mountains. So this would be, well, there's snow on the mountains, like all along the Andes. But there's snow on the ground as well as the mountain, and a lot of snow on the mountains. The mountains are not just, snow-covered peaks. They're like covered with snow. Yeah, it could be Chile. Oh, here's Tamer's question. Thank you, Tamer. It could be Chile. It could be like the very far south of Argentina. It's you're an indigenous person. You're not a shaman. Well, you work with the shaman. You are the village midwife healer. You're the one. You're the one who people, they go to both you and the shaman. They go to the shaman first, and he drives out whatever. He does what he does. He drives out the demons or whatever the bad influence is, and then you give them the tea or the leaves. I see you bruising leaves, like not crushing, but pounding leaves in fat, in animal fat, pounding them together with the fat, and and wrapping that around someone's leg and tying it there with uh, leather thongs to heal some ulcer. It's a poultice. That's the word. It's a poultice. You make those, and you make teas, and you set broken arms and legs, and do that kind of first aid kind of stuff. But you work together with the shaman. Neither of you steps on the other's turf. When a child is being born, he's got his job to do, chanting the magic, to protect the mother and the child, and to protect the family. He's got his job to do, bringing the protection magic for the mother and child. You've got your job to do to make sure that the baby gets out and the mother lives. You have a family of your own. At the time that I'm seeing you, though, you're maybe in your 40s. I see some gray hair, maybe even older than that, because you're Indigenous. So, you could be like 60 and you still wouldn't have much gray. Uh, um, yeah, at the time I'm seeing you, you're a grandmother. You have about a 10-year-old with you who's your granddaughter, and you're teaching her. You have other grandchildren besides this granddaughter, but she's the one that seems the most suited to do this kind of work. She's very bright. She's very intuitive as well. Yeah. Yeah. So that's your life as a village midwife and healer. I hope that was helpful to you, Nancy Ray. And thank you for your question. Thank you for letting me read for you. Okay. Let's see. Ouch. Next we have Kim. And Kim wants to know that your father donated more than 25% of Danish ancestry. Well, good for you. Good. I'm glad you enjoyed that. Can you share any past? Okay. Oh, I see. Okay. So here's the thing. Don't confuse your genetic ancestry with your spiritual ancestry. Okay. You in individual cases, you may have, I don't know, Polish ancestry, but you never spent any as a soul in this lifetime, or in all your lifetimes. You might never have spent any time in Poland. So, but I see the connection. I mean, it is interesting to find out, isn't it? Okay, so hold on for a second. So, Kim, you were on a ship that went to England. Not the Vikings that attacked Lindisfarne, but not long after that, on a separate ship. You landed in the north of England, and you went Viking raiding, basically. But it wasn't so much like the first few invasions. I'm guessing this might have been like 10 years later, after the first attacks on Lindisfarne, the, the purpose wasn't raiding anymore. You'd raid, but then you'd settle. You'd just find some land you liked and just plop yourselves down and start building a settlement. And um, and then assimilating um, with the locals. So that's what you did. It was a more of an informal immigration than an invasion by this point. Although there was still raiding going on, there were still Viking raids going on, but mostly those were on the south coast and the east coast because they were raiding Ireland at the same time. East coast, no, sorry, west coast. You were living on the east coast. There. Let's see. Young man, maybe 20. Your wife was on that ship. You don't have any kids at this point. So yeah, it was definitely an immigration ship. You were ready to fight when you landed because you thought you might have to. Um, but it looks like it was pretty smooth and easy, and you just found some land and cleared it and started having babies. And I see a small village, like a little town, really. Not right on the shore, but not. It's on a river, actually. It's not on the seashore. It's on a river. Land around it is cleared for farming. It's not there's nothing particularly remarkable about your life compared to anybody else's at that time and in that place. You took a big risk, but then if you'd have stayed in Denmark, there was nothing for you there. I hear very clearly there was nothing for you in Denmark. I don't know, maybe you were the third or fourth son or something, and there was just, you weren't going to inherit any land, and there was just nothing for you to do but go raiding and see what you could win for yourself. Mm. Yeah, initiative. This lifetime was about initiative and risk taking and working hard to build what you wanted to see. I hope that helps, Kim. Uh, uh, it was an interesting life. I mean, it wasn't particularly remarkable because there were many of you who did that, but that's a good lesson for people to learn, is taking risks. And yeah, it is a difference between your physical DNA and your quote unquote spiritual DNA. Bye, spiritual garden. You too have a lovely, yeah, you do have a lot of lives as a man. We talked about that before, I think. Yeah. And Jacqueline brings up an interesting point. Indigenous North American peoples mated with Vikings too. Viking men were cleaner. They were cleaner than most people, not just men, but most people of that era, because they did bathe regularly. They took very good care and combed their hair. And there's like Viking grave goods. There's tons of combs and mirrors, ouch, which are not found in similar graves of a similar time. So, hi, Carrie Ann Medina, welcome. Okay, so that's you done. Red Dragon. I hope you found that interesting. And now we have Tamer, who wants to know what the Akashic records reveal about my past lives in general, any significant ones. Okay. A significant past life for timer. Significant to your present lifetime, right? Yeah. Oh, so I see a young man being chased through the streets of what looks like a souk, a village market. It's hot sun, mud brick buildings, uh, awnings over top of the street with stands with fruit and grains and spices and vegetables, and it looks very much like a souk. I suppose it could be Italy. No, no, it's not Italy. I'm looking at the people's clothing, and these are baggy trousers, white, uh, loose white robes over top. Um, some men are wearing white shirts. Uh, Women are not not veiled exactly, but they do have their heads covered, and some women have part of their faces covered too with scarves. So it's Islamic, it's Muslim. Ouch. Okay. Uh, you're running through the market. If this is you, a young man, young-ish, 25 maybe, running through the market. I'm seeing you face on. You're running towards me. Behind you is a whole bunch of people uh, chasing you, like 6 people chasing you. Some of them are official looking. Uh, they're they're gaining on you, and uh, and you have I have a really bad pain right above here, right above my left eye, um, very sharp. Um, Either you've been hit in the eye or you've been hit in the eye. You've been hit in the eye with what? I'm guessing it was something sharp, because it's not just like uh, a general sort of. It's like a very sharp pain right here. I don't know what that's about yet. But you're running through the marketplace and trying to dodge and throw. Oh, you know how they do it in movies, and you throw things in the pathway of the people behind you to block their way, and the merchants are screaming at you, and you find an alleyway, and you duck into the alleyway, and it's so, oh my God. Okay, so the alleyway is so narrow that you're able to put your back on one wall and sort of crab crawl your way between the 2 walls, so you can get up to the roof and go hide on the roof. And then when they get over the the stuff that you threw in front of them, the stalls that you broke down in front of them, um, you're already on the roof. You're very fast, and you're very strong, and you're also fueled by like gallons of adrenaline. So you're up there laying flat on the roof, praying and hoping and trying very hard not to breathe. I don't know why they're after you. You know why they're after you. Come on, tell me. Why are they after you? You're being accused of something you're not guilty of. But you know that if they take you, that you won't get a fair trial because of who your father is. You won't get a fair trial. Okay, I don't know what that means yet. Okay, so here's the lesson from that life. That life is about justice, and it's about fairness, and it's about sticking up for yourself, and Yes, Tamer. I guess it's the Middle East. I don't know. It's an Islamic country. It could be Iraq. It could be Turkey. Uh, mm, I don't know. Is Turkey the Middle East? No, but it could be Turkey. I'm feeling Turkey. Although I don't know enough about Turkey to be like absolutely certain of my identification. I just feel like it's Turkey. So, so because of your father, who I guess was not a nice person or known to be, I don't know, a thief, a bandit, something bad. Yeah, the Ottoman Empire, that's what it was part of, and it was huge. Greece was part of the Ottoman Empire, but I don't feel like this was, or parts of Greece were. I don't feel like this was Greek. Um, Hi, baby. Um, yeah, yeah. The name of the city. Oh, well, I don't get the impression that it was a city. Like it's not Istanbul. Uh, it's it's more of a regional center, and I don't recognize. Okay, so they're telling me they don't know the name of the city. What the city? They don't know what the city's called anymore. Okay, it might come out. I'll try to find out for you, Temer. But because your father had such a reputation as being a dishonest kind of a person, okay, not a good person, or someone that if you wanted to do business with, you had to be really, really careful not to get ripped off because he would do it to anybody. And so he had very little business, very poor business, because no one trusted him to keep his word, because he would look for any excuse to steal or work the loopholes in his favor, like maybe not outright steal, but yeah. So, I mean, a very, very sharp dealer. Now, because that's your father, people are expecting you to behave in the same way. Even though you don't like your father, you think that you also agree that he's dishonest. And but you thought that you could make a go of life yourself. Okay, at the time I'm looking at you, you're not married, you don't have a family. Again, because people don't really want to associate with your family. And you're just beginning to realize that you have to leave, that you're never going to be able to have a normal life in that town because of your father and his reputation. This has given you uh, this. Uh, This has given you a really deep appreciation for fairness and justice, and something that you know is important, and that you feel very deeply when you feel it in your gut, viscerally. It makes it you get a deep reaction to injustice. You have a very deep reaction to injustice, which is a good thing. There Justice is important, fairness is important. uh, you might have chosen to be a lawyer with that kind of soul consciousness within you. Everybody cares about about fairness when it applies to them. We're all quite ready to say, hey, that's not fair to me, okay, when it's me that's involved. But when it's somebody else that's involved, do we see that that's unjust and unfair? And are we willing to stand up as quickly as we do for ourselves? Some of us are more quick to stand up for others than we are for ourselves, and that's a separate lesson to learn, equally important. So that's what I have for you, Tamer. I hope that that was helpful to you. That was interesting. I don't think I have never had a similar, okay, oh, I'll tell you the rest of the story. I'm sorry, I'll tell you the rest of that. So you're lying on top, I left you lying on top of that roof, just hoping that they'll run by you. And they look down the alley, but it's a dead end alley and it's like literally this wide, okay? They don't see you and it doesn't occur to any of them to look up. So you are able to leave that town. You have to wait until nightfall and circle back to your home because you're still living in the same house as your father. You're and climb into the window of your room and steal, well, take your own things and the money that you have stashed. I see you taking some gold coins and wrapping them up in a handkerchief really tight so that they don't jingle, and stashing them, and then taking your horse, and it is your horse, you didn't steal it, it is your horse that you bought and paid for, and then just leaving, just going on to make your fortune somewhere else. So, oh, does it resonate with your current life? How interesting. How interesting. So there are lessons still coming up from that situation. Whoa, okay. How interesting for you. So, and good luck with that. Maria, Amethyst Celentine. In order to get a reading, you have to type #read. And the giveaway, we're using the flying fickle finger of fate to choose who gets a reading today. We've been on for, it's only been an hour and 12 minutes. That's not bad. And I'm going to choose 3 more names. So, oh, you guys, Shenanigans and Diane, you guys are the best mods ever. Honestly, I have a richness of mods. You're so wonderful. No, Maria. Okay, never mind, Maria. That's fine. Because if your name is chosen, I'll ask you to type your question in then, because all I can see you'll see in the giveaway tool, all I see is your name. I have to find your, no, you know what? Never mind. I'll start this right now and we'll call it a day. If your name is picked, there you are. Okay. Thank you, Tamer, for your question, and thank you for letting me read for you, because that was really interesting. Okay, Joan, I'll do the same for you. I'll star it, and if you're picked, will I have your question? There you go. Very cool. I have never seen anything like that. Do you know, it was something like out of the Arabian Nights. You know the stories of Scheherazade? Never mind. I had a picture book when I was small, when I was young, and the costumes reminded, the way people were dressed reminded me of the costumes in that book. But of course, it was all a Western mishmash of what Westerners imagined that these people looked like. But still, okay. So let's fix our yes, Princess Scheherazade. Yeah. And let's go here. Oh, you know what? I forgot the music. I forgot my media assets. Oh, sometimes I like just, oh, here we go. Here's a favorite that everybody has. Okay. First person of the last group for the day. Oh, no, we're going to draw again. Okay, kitties, keep on dancing or falling down the stairs or whatever you're doing. Okay. Mangled unicorn. Yay. Okay, Jacqueline. Start typing your question. You know the routine. And next we have oh, I love that. CJ, congratulations, CJ. Please start typing your question. Okay. Oh, this is a good one. Let's try this one. What happened to the fade out? Okay, Janet DC, are you still here, darling? And okay, Mangled Unicorn wants a vacation life. Oh, good. Those are fun. And Janet DC, are you still with us? CJ, thank you for your question. And Janet, please type in your question. I don't know why you wouldn't have seen. You don't necessarily see your name. Okay, Janet. Okay, all right. I got your questions. Okay, these are the last three readings of the day. It's Mangled Unicorn, CJ, and Janet DC. I'm sorry, Maria and João. But I'll be on Tuesday for Akashic Records readings on Akashic Adventures at 2:00 Pacific, 5:00 Eastern. So it'll be me and Viviani and Diana Bowles will be reading the Akashic Records, and I'll be back next Thursday. And next Thursday, who's my guest? Let me just take a look. I believe next Thursday is Shenanigans. Oh, so sorry. Next Thursday is Shenanigans is going to be my guest. I think if your schedule permits it, Shenanigans, we should actually. Yes, questions are closed. Thank you for reminding me, Diane. I will hide that ticker and go back to the comments. Shenanigans, I'll send you an email and we'll figure it out. Okay, so Mangled Unicorn. Where's your question? I would like to hear about a vacation life or one that would help me on my current journey. A vacation life will always help you on your current journey just because you can find out how good it can be. And besides, vacations are fun. Okay, a vacation life for Mangled Unicorn, please, for Jacqueline. Jacqueline. I'm standing by the shore of what is either the ocean or like a big lake, like Lake Superior or something like that. And I'm looking into the distance. I just see the shoreline and the water. And on this side is some sand dunes. So I'm going to try and see over the sand dunes. I believe this is North America or Russia. Let me figure it out. Because there's like pine trees. It's just covered with pine trees. So I don't know. It could be some lake in Russia as easily as it could be some lake in Canada or the northern United States. Like it could be one of the Great Lakes or an ocean. Why do I keep saying lake? Because it is a lake. And it's a lake? You're indigenous. I want to say 7 nations or 6 nations, uh, because this is definitely the Great Lakes. You're with uh, your whole village is packing up and moving somewhere else. There's a fleet of like 20 canoes that are packed to the gills, packed to the gunnels with uh, bundles and baskets and all kinds of things. And you're not like leaving your village forever. You're going to your summer place, which I guess, oh, that's interesting. You're leaving your winter camp and you're going to your summer camp. Um, the winter camp is on a river, and it's in a very, very heavy forest. And it's about a day, maybe, well, a day's trip if you do it early enough down the river by canoe to the summer camp. And the summer camp is right by the lake. And the summer camp is where you catch a lot of fish and smoke them and dry them for the winter. It's but you also do ice fishing, but like that can be really like unpleasant. So you smoke and dry a lot of fish. You have fields there at your summer camp. There isn't enough. So why would they have to move? Like they can just stay there and hunt from there. Why would they have to move? Like it just seems strange. So apparently in this particular case, that that area is really bad in the winter. Like there's howling blizzards, and it's just a really unpleasant place to be in the winter. They're better off in the trees. You know, I don't know how far away they are, 20 miles, 50 miles. Who knows? They're like a day's travel by canoe down a fairly swiftly moving river. Um, and they're expert canoers, of course, so they can move. Um, well, they can't move all that fast. They've got, you know, stacks and stacks of things to bring with them. But yeah, they stay there because that place apparently really sucks in the wintertime, and they don't want to live there in the winter. It's really bad. The winds are really, really bad, and it's not a good place to be in the winter. So that's why they move every year from between the winter and the summer camps, and they like doing it. So okay, let's see what else. Did I tell you in that lifetime, you're a young man? You're too young to marry, but you're old enough to do like a man's work. So I'm guessing 14, 15. So you're bundling packages and helping the grandmothers and packing up all the gear and making sure that nothing's left behind. Um, Making sure that the longhouses are clean and ready. Now the winter camp has the longhouses, but the summer camp doesn't. The summer camp people live in tents. In I guess in the East they're called wigwams. Hide tents. And people like doing that too. They see both dwellings as part of their heritage, and they're happy in either place. People are happy about the summer and the summer camp. There's going to be lots of berry picking. There's going to be, people are making plans about making pimican. They're making plans about, uh, yeah. This is before contact with Europeans. I don't see any evidence of metal work from trade, because there was trade going on all over North America between tribes, right? So, in fact, in one of the archaeological digs in Mexico, they found an obsidian blade that came from obsidian, because you can identify where obsidian comes from by its by a chromatograph. And they identified that one as coming from a mountain here in British Columbia. Duh. So the trade networks covered the continent. Oh, there you are. Here's Ginger.
I keep thinking 7 o'clock. I am so embarrassed. I mean, I've been waiting around. God. Kyle had a developmental appointment too, and that threw me off. And I am so sorry.
Well, that's fine. We're just about ready to close.
I know.
I've got 2 more readings to do. And sorry, let me just finish up with Mangled Unicorn here. So I don't know. It was a nice lifetime. There was the occasional squabble with other tribes, but the Six Nations were a powerful confederacy, and nobody screwed with them. Okay, so it was a prosperous lifetime, and nobody went hungry. Um, there weren't any plagues as such because there weren't any Europeans. So yeah, good lifetime, Mangled Unicorn. Really nice lifetime. You worked hard, but it was good, Let me just hide that comment. And yeah. Yeah, somewhere around the Great Lakes, if you can stand the black flies, it's pretty nice. Okay. Next we have CJ, who wants to know, and you can weigh in on this, Ginger. Have you ever had a religious vocation or anything you can see? Hey, Jonathan, welcome. Nice to see you. You've probably been in chat for a long time. I just didn't even know. Didn't even see. Sorry.
Jonathan, I want to do mermaid readings with you. So before you go off on another trip for this summer, connect with me. Oh my gosh. So she's asking if she's ever had a religious vocation.
Or anything I can see. Well, I can see past lives that you've had as a spiritual person. I see a life as a monk in a mountainous country like Nepal, Tibet, maybe somewhere where there's like mountains. Yeah, Nepal. I can see a life as a monk with a Buddhist monk with the saffron robes. I see another life in a convent where you're a woman. You're in a convent. This one would have been in like I want to say the 14 or 1500s in Europe somewhere. yeah, you have some lifetimes as in that spiritual kind of clerical kind of sense, but you also have some lifetimes as a shaman, just so as you know. So go ahead, Ginger, if you're ready.
Oh, yeah, I was just thinking maybe I was trying to figure out how I can answer that because since you um
Well, you go ahead and answer. You give what you get, because that's what we all do as readers, right?
yeah.
You
Well,
know,
what I was asking is what did she do as this religious vocations and stuff? And I got the door to the infinite. So I feel like for sure past many past lives, as you just said, the door was open for her for an infinite number of lifetimes. And I think she was able to bring that. She might have been a very special, like, there was a whole thing with, only Jesus could be the prophet or whatever, but I feel like she had some abilities that she couldn't quite,
mm,
you know, say that she had, but at the same time, well, I got growing for her. I got growing.
mm-hmm.
And so that's part of her. Oh, there's a little fairy and not an angel in here.
Ah,
Two
that's so cute.
fairies. Okay.
That's so cute.
So
Look at
I
that.
think she may have been at one point one of the nuns who tended the gardens and had a close relationship with the fae. And of course, I got chills when I said that one. And then I have positive intentions. So I think through lifetimes, your positivity was a big part of your, when you're not preaching. I didn't say preaching, but the relationships with other people was very spiritual, and you were always positive, and they can always come to you for anything, and you had so much to offer, and your energy was such a healing energy. And yeah, that's what I have for you, CJ.
Thank you so much, Ginger Faye. I hope that was helpful to you, CJ. Thank you so much for letting us read for you. It really is a privilege to do this. Thank
Mm.
you. Um, and now the last reading for the day, Janet DC. She wants to know, I have always felt a scary tie to World War II. Does that, oh, good. I'm glad it answered your question, CJ. Appreciate the feedback. Uh, I've always felt a scary tie to World War II, hiding from Nazis and being in a camp. I was born in 1959. Yeah. Pearl Harbor, oh, sweet Lord. Pearl Harbor Day is my birthday. Is it possible for me to have? Well, yes. A lot of people who, okay, this is information that I've received. And
Mhm.
also, I've observed this. I mean, I haven't observed a lot of it, okay, but I have observed it that people who died in the camps generally came back in the 50s, okay, and some in the 60s, but mostly in the 50s. They came back very quickly. That was kind of part of the deal that on their contract, in their contracts, okay, that that they would be able to come right back if they felt like it, because it's always your personal choice. And some souls were just so traumatized by, well, you can see the trauma that the survivors, maybe you guys are too young. I knew some survivors, and I know
Mhm.
children of survivors. And um, Janet says she can see the inside of a barracks in her mind.
Mhm.
Are you simulcasting, Ginger?
No, because I came in so late. Um,
Oh, okay, okay,
yeah.
all right, okay. Um, yeah. Um, so, um, so the trauma that these people endured, some people couldn't stop talking about it. Other people could not say a word about it.
Mhm.
And well, anyway, um, so yes, it is entirely possible, and I will take a look. Well, yeah. Yeah. You're a girl about 13, 14, 15, around in there, a young teenager. You and your mother are in the women's barracks. I don't know the name of the camp. There's a lot of people in it. I mean, there's two to a cot, and there's more people coming every day. It's a big, big camp. Um, it's 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 a name starting with M. Mm, I don't know the names of the camps, but I'm hearing Marienbad, which I don't even know where that is. And it might be called something different nowadays anyway, especially if it's in Poland or um, because it would have gone back to the Polish name after the war. So Marienbad, I'm hearing, and well, it's as miserable as you've read about, I'm sure, or seen in the movies. This must have been a camp in or maybe at a particular time in the war before they'd set up, uh, before they'd set up the gas showers, the gassing. Um, because one day, uh, the women are sent out on a detail to dig what will be their grave, and knelt in front and shot, and you and your mother died holding each other, and at pretty much the same moment. Neither of you ever found out what happened to your father and your brothers in this life. I mean, you clearly found out. Yeah. So Janet, so Janet, that's yes, absolutely. Yeah,
That's sad.
absolutely. You're one of those people who sees injustice happening over there and you feel it. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. That's an like Tamer. That's an incredible oh, hi, Essence of the Moon. Hi, Selena. Welcome. Um, I'm sorry, I don't have a lot to say left. I just a difficult thing to
It's
watch
sad. Yeah, it is.
because I get the sounds and I get the voices and do you have anything you want to add to that, Ginger?
Well, just know when I saw little glimpses. I saw like a small apartment and them coming for them. I almost saw that the little girl hid, but the mother couldn't hide in time. But then the little girl ran after her mom when they were starting to take her. And I did see a crowded small room, but that's all I saw, unfortunately. Um,
Well, I wouldn't say
but
necessarily unfortunate, but yeah.
Well, right, right. But I did pull some cards to ask if there was some message to bring into this lifetime.
Thank you. That's a really
And
good
I got the Wheel of Fortune,
ah,
and knowing that I think through our lifetimes we also go through cycles. I think maybe we've all been through something. We'll just say very challenging, and Sometimes when we come back through another lifetime, things we're almost rewarded. Like you said, I got the 6 and the 7 of Pentacles. So the messages here is in this lifetime for you, you are meant to like plant your gardens and of manifestations and being in beautiful places, some
Create.
place places that make you breathe and feel good, and then sharing. You have this is coming both ways for me. It's about, you know, that you have to treat others as equals, and but also I see it as the universe rewarding you this lifetime around, because these are just beautiful cards. So I hope you are building, planting a garden and or being outside as much as you can, and you have a beautiful heart, and I hate that you have those kind of thoughts and memories. I was planting a flower garden at my new home yesterday. Yay! Yes. So you're to go out there and enjoy what you're planting, and enjoy the process of watching everything bloom. And yeah, so I love that. And then you're just a generous soul. Um, and yeah, that's what I have for you.
So, Janet, I got the urge to pull a card for you. And as much as I use, this is from the What We've Forgotten deck. And as much as I use this deck every single time I read, okay? So it gets used at least twice a week. And this is a card I have never pulled before. It's definitely a message for you, and it's the Prophet card.
Ooh.
Okay? Now, I can't, well, I gotta put my other glasses. Oh, here, take these off so you guys don't freak out watching me with 2 pairs of glasses on. I'm sorry, Wanda. Did I disturb you? I'm so sorry. Because I want to read to you what Amy Miranda wrote about this particular card, because it's a powerful, powerful thing. Jesus was a badass, and so are you. When we speak about higher intelligences, whether they be gods or goddesses, angels, or ascended masters, it's always important to remember that energetically, they all come from the same source. They're all in service to the same thing, light. There are so many we can't even begin to count. The prophets of the planet, those who've been in communication with source, that means you, Janet DC, that means you, all seem to align on the idea that we're meant to do unto others. Jesus was pretty clear on how he felt about oppression. If you hadn't heard, he did not like it. He whipped the rich and flipped their tables right out of the temple, flipping tables and turning cheeks. For those in the back, he wasn't white, and he didn't have a problem with anyone but the rich. He was said to have walked on water and turned it into wine. Probably a witch. He was hanging out with other witches, queers, and nerds. He was always of service to those who had less. He was approachable and he was funny. He had a quick wit because he had seen some shit. Jesus is actually pretty badass. He had a wand and a whip. He took time to show up for people when they needed him, and he was definitely the kind of guy who would do his own stunts. This week, consider how you can better practice doing unto others. How and where might you be able to improve? This isn't a what would Jesus do moment unless you want it to be. It's a moment where we get to consider how we want to operate into the world. Consider how you might be able to lead by example. If you want to wear a witch hat and carry a wand this week, I'm not going to stop you. You're enough of a badass to do it, just like
Oh,
JC.
that's an awesome little book.
This is just from the, yeah, this is just from the little book. This is not from the big book. But Janet, I want you to seriously think about having these memories. I'm going to call them memories of that particular past life. Uh, that tells me that you have a deep connection to your soul, that it communicates to you clearly, and you may want to develop that. That's another way of saying you're psychic. Okay. If nobody has told you this before, I'm telling you right now, you are psychic. You may want to consider developing that. If you don't, that's okay too, because you got free will, girl. You can do whatever you like. However, it's something to consider, you know.
Yeah. At least honing in on your intuition.
Powerful card, strong
Wow.
intuition. Yeah, powerful.
Mm.
Okay, that brings us to the end of today's readings. I'm going to close the records now before I forget. Excuse me. I asked people at the beginning, did they want me to read cards or did they want Akashic records? And everybody wanted the Akashic records. So, or at least that was the feedback I got. So,
Right?
um,
You wouldn't
okay, so
have
we're
enough energy for me to have a reading, would you?
now here, sure. You want?
Could you?
Or like
I
we
always
can do
get
it.
to miss. Or
We
when?
can we can do it privately if you prefer. It doesn't have to be
Okay.
public. Yeah, of
Oh, either
course.
way, whatever you want to
Yeah.
do. Yeah.
Um, I think I think maybe we'll just wait until this is over and
Okay.
just do something together. Okay.
That'll be fun.
Okay. So let's take 3 deep breaths. Let's end this the way we began and close the circle. So 3 deep breaths. Remember your connection to Mother Earth. Remember your connection to Source. We offer deep gratitude to the Akashic Records Masters, the guardians, the guides, and all present today for the truth, the light, and the love received. Thank you, thank you, thank you. The records are now closed. Ginger Faye, you want to tell us what you're going to be doing in the next few days?
Hiding under a rock now. No, I'm just getting over a really bad case of bronchitis, and
Oh no.
I was using weed killer, and it was a new container, and I couldn't find the pressure release valve. So I thought, okay, whatever. So I went to tighten the handle, and I turned it the wrong way, obviously, and it's just like combustion. And
No.
then just
Ginger.
by that night, my throat was dry, and then I've been coughing for a week. So I'm just now getting over that. Must have affected my brain too, because I thought we were on at 7. I am so embarrassed. I am on tomorrow night with Jean on her channel. I
Okay.
think I'll have to, I better look at the
Take a
calendar.
look at your schedule. Yeah. What is wrong with my camera? Come on, wake up.
Yeah, 4 o'clock tomorrow Eastern. And I have it right here, Linda, 5 p.m. I don't know what happened to me, but
Ah,
yeah. And then next week I have Ivana and Allie.
okay. I'm trying to get my camera to wake up here
I know,
and
right?
focus, and I don't know what's going on with it. Maybe it's going to focus now. It's a little better. Okay, look, I'm sorry about that, but hey, it's just one more technical difficulty. I'm really happy we weren't shut down completely like we were this morning. Like Gerald and I were this
Yeah,
morning, I
I
should say.
read that this a moment ago before I come on.
Yeah, it was pretty scary, and I was pretty sure that I was going to have to cancel this show
Yeah.
because I only was able to log into StreamYard at half an hour before.
Oh, yeah.
I was panicked. Okay, so tomorrow at 1 o'clock Pacific and 4 o'clock Eastern, I'm doing Gerald and I'm hosting for a change. Gerald's not doing all the work. I am. We're doing Friday the 13th
Ooh,
readings. Feeling lucky.
I
I
love
haven't
Friday.
I haven't put it up yet. I haven't so it's like it's not out there because I haven't finished setting it up, but I will be doing that within the next hour. So you'll see it. Please make sure that you're subscribed and that you've hit the notification bell and you made sure that you get all notifications and not just sort of like random notifications. Make sure that it's like a solid bell so that you get the notification when I put it up. Okay. Saturday at 4 o'clock Pacific, 7 o'clock Eastern. Gerald and Deb and I are on doing another Gratitude Drives Abundance. I'll be simulcasting that. And on Monday, this one's going to be fun. We're doing Clue by 4 readings with Gerald. So, what does Spirit want to hit you with a clue by 4? What is it that Spirit needs a clue by 4 to get you to understand? Okay. So, and then on Tuesday, Akashic Adventures, Viviani will be hosting. I'll be simulcasting at the regular 2 o'clock Pacific, 5 o'clock Eastern. And at 6 o'clock Pacific, 9 o'clock Eastern, Bobby Fierro and I are going to be doing past life readings.
Ooh.
So, and there's more next week. Like next week's really busy.
Yeah.
This week was really busy. Next week is really busy. So that's what's happening for me. Am I forgetting something? Please remember to like, share, and subscribe to both of our channels. And hi, Colorful Foresight. You're just coming in at the very end. Oh, no, we're not going to wear anything spooky. Wait until you see the thumbnail for the Friday the 13th because we're not focusing on spooky. We're focusing on luck. Okay. Where's your luck? Where is it coming from? How can you make it better? How can you change it? Do you want to? Well, I don't know. We haven't really decided yet, but it's all going to be all about luck. What does Spirit say to you?
I've always had good luck on Friday the 13th.
I can't remember if I had bad luck on Friday the 13th. It seems like it's always been kind of an ordinary day. Nothing. I've never won anything on a Friday the 13th. Let's put it that way. Yeah. Thank you so much for coming, gingerfae. And thank all of you who've been watching so patiently. Really appreciate you. Thank you for letting us read for you. It's an honor and a privilege for us as readers that you trust us and allow us to do this for you. Love you so much. We'll see you again tomorrow, probably for Friday the 13th. Those will be fun. Be there or be square.
Right.
Love you lots.
Bye,
Bye-bye.
Oh.